All right, so worksheet 3, and this is about box plots. Okay, so there's a little bit somewhere at the end of chapter 3, which you won't have got to in 120. We won't have got to that when you're watching this. But what a box plot is you first of all, you have to have a 5-number summary. And the calculator calls a min x, Q1, med, Q3, and max x. Okay, and so if you've done the video on how to use the TI, I point out that you could find these numbers on there. So if you wanted to know what these 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you wanted to know what those 5 numbers were for this list right here, you could put those in list 1, and then you could do one variable stats, and your calculator would tell you those 5 numbers. But the whole reason why these have like 7 things in them is just so we can look at what it means. All right, the median is the exact middle one. Median. Okay, and I know that's the exact middle one because there's 3 over here and 3 over here. And then the min has got to be the smallest one. And the max is the largest one. Okay, and then Q1 and Q3 are halfway between. So if I've got 3 over here and 3 over here, then Q1 is going to be here, and Q3 is going to be there. Now, there are different ways your calculator can do this. Some of them might say that's a 1.5 and that's a 4.5. That would be fine too. Okay, it's dividing it up into supposedly equal bits, but then it doesn't come out equal because of the fact that there's you know, an odd number versus an even number and things like that. It doesn't always come out. So books have different ways of doing it. But for now, in each one of these, we're going to call this the minimum, the Q1, the med, the Q3, and the max. Okay, and so when I want to do a 5-number summary, I'm using those numbers. If you want to use the numbers off your calculator, that's fine too. Now, the way there is how to make a box plot on that video from 120, but you probably won't have seen it yet. Okay, but this, we're just going to go through it just a lot, sort of more examples and a lot more with detail on how to get these. Okay, so the first thing is you need, this is sort of called the whiskers right here. It's only exactly as long as you need. So if I start 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's not the number line. You're not supposed to have nothing exists before 0 or after 6. And that takes care of putting min and max on there. It's just by making your whiskers the right length. Okay. And now I got to put the others on there. So here's 1. Okay, here's 3, and here's 5. And draw extra long lines on those 3 numbers. Those are the 3 numbers, Q1, med, and Q3. Draw extra long lines on those, and then connect those lines up into a box. And this is a box plot. Okay, and I said on the other video, which you probably haven't watched yet, it basically tells you what sort of bell curve it. Are people bunching around the center of your possible numbers, or everybody kind of bunching around the beginning or bunching around the end? And if this box is right in the very center and my 2 little whiskers sticking out the sides of the box are both the same length as each other, this is because this is centered. Okay, people are bunching up around the middle. They're not bunching up around one end or the other. Now, if I have to do this one, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that takes care of me putting those numbers on. Now, Q1 is here. The med is here. And Q3 is there. Okay, they're not in the number line is exactly the same, but the numbers I use down here, this is 1, 3, and 5, this is 1, 2, and 4, they're going to end up a little over this way. Okay, this whisker out here is now longer than that whisker there, so this is left-centered. And all of these, I went with 7 numbers just so we can do the same as the homework. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That one needed to be longer because I got the number 0 over here and 12 over here. Okay, and this is the mead, and this is Q1, and this is Q3. Okay, so the extra long is actually right there, right on top of that minimum. And then 2, that's extra long. And then 12. Which is a very funny looking box plot, and I don't see any whiskers at all. But I would call this left shifted because the very center, if this was a bell curve, the very center of that bell curve is way over here and then it tapers on off. Okay, this has got to be the center point. So I'm calling this left shifted as well, even though it doesn't have any whiskers. All right, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now I'm going to put Q3 here, meet here, Q1 there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Here's 3. There's a long line there, and a long line at 5, and one again at 6. All right, this is definitely right shifted. Okay, so that's how you do these. The homework ones, I also put 7 numbers on there just so you could quickly pick off what you want for Q1, meet, and Q3 so that you can get the homework done. It's not about, oh, I can put all the numbers in my calculator, get out the answers. You could do that, but you don't need to do that. You could just pick off the exact same numbers and put them on there and then say whether it's right or left shifted or whatever. Okay. And I guess I'm going to have to put photos up again for my answers to the homework because they'll be like photos sort of like this.